And you, Mr. Ferrell, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Palmdale, and no, I grew up. I grew up in the mean streets of Irvine, California. Yeah. I started the Irvine Crips out there. And, no, I was born in Newport Beach, and we lived in Corona del Mar until I was about 5 years old, and then I know. Yes. And then we moved to the master plan community that is known as Irvine. Yeah.
And in high school, you sort of were known for doing something in the morning. Can you sort of tell us this talent that you showed as a high schooler?
Well, in high school, I started doing the morning announcements. Usually have a little announcement in between first and second period, which tells you what the day's events are. And I had my buddy Steve Baldakowski, who was the senior class president, was trying to figure out a way to sell senior class T-shirts, which was our big fundraiser to get to do a fun thing at the end of the year. And so he enlisted my help and my buddy Bart, and we basically started writing skits that we would announce throughout the school, where we would make fun of teachers, students, do assumed character voices, everything, and something that really shouldn't have been allowed in school. But it became so successful that teachers would come up to me and were like, "When are you doing another announcement?" And so that was kind of the beginning steps I took in thinking that I wanted to do comedy.
You came to USC, and what was your major here?
Sports information. Yeah.
Spin.
Which I think they offered for 10 years, and then they took it away because it was too hard. It was just too hard. Yeah. It was too hard a major. No, I literally had to take volleyball as a class, and
didn't you have Yankees from like 1920 to 1950?
yeah, it was like the rules of sports 101, and but it was part of the journalism school. So I was at that time I thought I was going to be a sportscaster,
and so we actually searched through Annenberg archives, and we're lucky enough to find footage from you and your first foray into sports journalism. Please roll the tape.
Okay.
Mr. Burgundy, I want to
Yes.
thank you for coming out here to Connecticut to do this audition.
Thank you for having me.
Basically, how it's going to work is we're going to have you do maybe about 2 or 3 minutes of a mock broadcast.
What is the name of this network again? ESPN?
No, ESPN.
That's a terrible name. Hello, sports fans. I'm Ron Burgundy, here at the desk of ESPN. And there were some things going on in sports today that will make your brain fall out of your skull. We go next to Wrigley Field, where the Astros and the Cubs got together and had a crazy idea. Let's play 2 games in one day, something that had never been done before in the history of baseball. So let's go to college sports. The University of Notre Dame announced today that it will change its mascot from the Fighting Irish to the Fighting Doberman Pinscher Genitalias. Students were outraged at the news. What?
That wasn't a story that we had on the prompter.
Well, of course, I made it up. Because I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind. I'm made to look like a fool here.
It's sports.
All around the clock, sports all the time.
That's the concept of the news.
Oh, that's never going to work. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's like a 24-hour cooking network or an all-music channel. Ridiculous. That's really dumb. Seriously, this thing is going to be a financial and cultural disaster. Sports Center. Think about that. That's just dumb.
Thanks for coming in, Mr. Burgundy. I think that's it. Obviously, we're not going to be hiring you.
Good. I don't want anything to do with this place. This place is run by a bunch of children.
All right, that's uncalled for. Steve, get him.
I had that mustache in college. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only fitting that we actually play Notre Dame this week. So, are you going back to the game?
The Fighting Doberman Pinscher Genitalias. Yes.
Tell me you got that, Jim. Tell me you got
Yes.
that. It's going out to everyone.
No, I remember improvising that day so that it would live in perpetuity and make fun of Notre Dame
That's
forever.
perfect.
Yeah.
Nicely
But yeah, I
done.
am going to the game. So
Nicely done. Fight out.
if anyone knows of a, if anyone's got a room I could shack up with, I still never made any lodging reservations, so. Or not.
Or not.